on RollerJam. The cross-country rivalry continues as the Nevada Hot Dice try their luck against the New York Enforcers. Led by the slick skating of Jason McDaniel, the Dice have stomped their last two competitors. But they have never defeated the Dark Lords of the Bank Track. And New York ain't gonna let it happen without a brawl. The Nevada Hot Dice step in the ring with the New York Enforcers. Next on RollerJam.
From Orlando, Florida, Universal Studios, home of the new City Walk, this is the World Skating League. Tonight, the New York Enforcers take to the Bank Track against the Nevada Hot Dice. Welcome, everyone, to RollerJam Arena. I'm Ken Resick, along with Lee Rehrman and our roller derby expert, Buddy Atkinson Jr. The New York Enforcers seemingly have put their temporary problems behind them. They are coming off a very impressive win. On the other side of the coin, everything seems to be going the way for the Nevada Hot Dice. Little Richard Brown has settled back in as coach and captain of the Hot Dice. Jason McDaniel has more than lived up to the hype preceding his return, coming off a broken collarbone. But one thing I would question, Hawk, we've heard Richard Brown and Mark D'Amato talk about this unholy alliance, if you will, called bad. They say they're putting it behind them. It has no bearing on this game. But I don't believe anything either one of those two would say.
Well, I don't know if bad is good or bad is bad or what the heck bad is, but I think it's a big smoke screen because Mark D'Amato, the New York Enforcers, and little Richard Brown, of course, and the Nevada Hot Dice, have been up to this kind of shenanigans since well before I was born, so I'm not even going to justify that by talking about it. But you hit the nail on the head. The new dynamic that has played into the Nevada Hot Dice success is the return of Jason McDaniel. Because now you have three big guns. You've got Jason McDaniel joining Mark Webber, and of course the green-headed Micah Martin. And I'm going to take the opportunity right now to coin a new nickname for these guys. They're green, they're showy, but the showgirls are already taken. But they're all extreme skaters, Ken. They're young. Two of them have skated in the extreme games. Of course, being Jason McDaniel, the new addition to the Hot Dice, and Micah Martin, who we all know. These guys are fast, young, aggressive, and extreme. These guys are the X-Men.
You know, that's not bad.
Not bad, huh?
Now, one thing I like about this game in the matchup, the Nevada Hot Dice with Richard Brown and Mark Webber, I think on the men's side can stay with the physically intimidating play of the Mark D'Amatos, the Tim Washingtons, and the Brian Gambles. But, Buddy, on the women's side, the showgirls, they're more about sizzle, always knowing where the cameras are. How will they deal with the physical, intimidating play of the Sisters of Suffering?
I think they're going to do just grand. I'll tell you, simply put, they know where the cameras are. Now they're going to have to turn around and start watching where the Enforcer girls are, and I think they can do it, without a doubt.
Now, let me ask you, for my money, the pressure is going to be on Shea Brown. She's the only one of the showgirls. She has really stepped up her game in all facets, but she has the size and ability, if she wants to stay with the Sisters of Suffering physically.
Without a doubt, and the speed is another thing that's very important. She does get around it there. I mean, she jumps here, she jumps there. This girl can do it, and she's got a powerful block.
You hear the music, so that means only one thing. We're ready to RollerJam. The New York Enforcers, without a doubt, the most physically intimidating team in all the World Skating League, and along with that, I would have to say, the most focused team in all the WSL. Mark D'Amato very open about the fact he will do whatever it takes inside or outside the rules to make sure his team emerges victorious.
Well, and one thing that was pointed out the last game these Enforcers were in is they have a lack of speed, Ken, maybe their only weakness.
And here come the Nevada Hot Dice. Nevada known for their showgirl sizzle, led by Kim Hart, Laura Weintraub, and Shea Brown. They always know where the cameras are, but on the other side of the coin, Richard Brown and Mark Webber, along with Micah Martin, could be perhaps one of the teams that can come close to matching the physical play of the New York Enforcers. As we look at Karen Magnuson, there you see Jason McDaniel, a wild card. What an impact he has shown as the showgirls blow their charismatic kiss and customary kiss to the crowd.
And if the weakness for the Enforcers is lack of speed, Ken, the weakness for the Hot Dice is that they love to smile for the camera.
Certainly one of the wild cards in this game is this alliance of D'Amato and Brown, and they're with Danny Wolf.
Richard Brown, Mark D'Amato, you guys pretty much are part of the same team, even though you're wearing different uniforms. How can you get this game going?
What we're going to do tonight is put our alliance aside just for this one game, and we're going to show you people how RollerJam is supposed to be played. That's right. That is good.
And starting for Richard Brown's Nevada Hot Dice, Katie Cooper, Mandy Osborne, Mindy Smith, Kim Hart, and Laura Weintraub. For the New York Enforcers, Shelley Rochelle, Janet Abraham, Heather Gunnan, Karen Magnuson, and April Tootle, all in the starting lineup. As we get ready, you see the racehorse start there. Shelley Rochelle wearing a jammer helmet, as is Heather Gunnan. The Enforcers with their speedsters, their go-to jammers coming out. And on the other side of the coin, it's Mindy Smith from the Nevada Hot Dice. And it's Mindy Smith and Heather Gunnan as they come right around, along with Laura Weintraub as the final jammer for the Nevada Hot Dice. But it's Mindy Smith and Heather Gunnan, the two quickest skaters on both their teams. Rochelle and Weintraub go down. It's all up to Gunnan and Mindy Smith as they come around. Heather Gunnan, I think, with a little edge in speed, without a doubt, as you see Gunnan begin to pull away. Now a big block set up by Kim Hart, leader of the Showgirls, doing a good job of blocking out Heather Gunnan out of Florida. Gunnan still trying to work out. Karen Magnuson now doing the same to Mindy Smith, and Gunnan goes down. Mindy Smith goes down, and now Magnuson drops down. Mindy Smith and Heather the Gunnan goes around and picks up the first point of this game.
Well, and Heather Gunnan matches up much better with the Nevada Hot Dice than she did the last time we saw these Enforcers play against the Texas Rustlers. She has the speed to keep up with Mindy Smith, but she also is a little bit more powerful than Mindy Smith, and that's going to pay off for him today, Ken. Paid off for him right there. Heather Gunnan out to a quick start for the New York Enforcers.
Gunnan cutting it off very quickly after getting the first points, and now once again we're underway with the second jam. And we see Karen Magnuson wearing a jammer helmet for the New York Enforcers, and Kim Hart for the Nevada Showgirl. This is Magnuson and Hart, the first two jammers. Remember, the WSL, after the very start of each period, the jammers start at the back of the pack, must wind their way through, lap the entire pack, and once they've done that, then they can begin scoring points as they pass members of the opposition. So Magnuson and Hart, the two jammers that have worked their way out. Kim Hart and Magnuson, both very physical players if need be. You see Magnuson try to set her up for a bulldog, and you see the New York Enforcers trap not only the entire Nevada Hot Dice pack, but Kim Hart as well. Karen Magnuson goes by unopposed, picks up 4 points. Kim Hart very upset.